What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video, we are going to talk about the best places to find games in 2020. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so I want to talk about how you can get games and how you can get games for a good price and cheaply and all that stuff. So I'm going to break this video into two parts. I'm going to talk about in-store or in-person and then online. So there is many ways that you can find games, and in 2020 it can be hard to find good deals, and that's what I am all about. You guys know, if you've watched this channel before, that I love to go out and find games that are cheap or a good deal. That way either I can add them to the collection behind me, or I can add them into this box over here that I put games on to flip and sell to make more money to fund the game collection. So I want to bring you a few things that I think are great and what you should be doing if you're looking to expand your game collection but don't have a lot of money. So we're going to start off with in-person or in-store. Not all these places are going to be in stores, so I'm just going to say in-person from now on out to let you guys know what we're talking about. So this is going to be the part where I talk about how you get good games. And now a few of these kind of could be considered online, but these are things that you have to actually go and physically do. They're not going to be going online and shipped to your door and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to say is pawn shops. You guys who watch this channel, you know what I think about pawn shops. Pawn shops are great because they usually price games for a flat fee. So like Wii games might be $2 or Xbox One games might be $5 or $10 or whatever. They have a baseline that they set for games. They don't go through and say this game's worth $5, this game's worth $10. Most of the time, it's a flat fee that says Xbox games, $3. And so if you find something good, you're probably going to find a deal there. So that is the first thing that I want to talk about, is pawn shops. Oftentimes, pawn shops are even good at negotiating. So if you see like 5 games and they're all marked for $5, and instead of 25, say, hey, will you take 20 for these 5 games? They're probably more likely more inclined and more likely to do that than they would be if it was GameStop, obviously. So pawn shops are great because you can negotiate, and most of the time they have flat prices, which is great for adding to your collection with games that are awesome. So the second part that we're going to talk about is thrift stores. Now thrift stores are awesome because if you've watched this channel before, you know that I always find games for cheap that are well worth picking up to either buy for myself or to resell. So I think this is a place that you definitely should look out for. You could have your Salvation Armies, your Goodwills, your random thrift stores. Those are places that I visit frequently, at least once a week, and usually I find some good stuff. Now recently I picked up 2 Wii games for $3 each. I got Super Mario Brothers on the Wii, new Super Mario Brothers Wii, obviously, sorry. And then Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, I believe. And so those are both awesome games. And no, it wasn't, it was Returns. Sorry, it was Returns. I'm thinking about this. But it was awesome. They were $3 each. And those are easily $10 to $12 games all day. I can sell them quickly, I can make some money, and put money into the game fund. So that's a totally awesome thing. And also, like the pawn shops, most of the time they are level with their pricing. They say, hey, if it's an Xbox game, if it's an Xbox One game, if it's a PS1 or a PS4 game, it's all going to be the same price. So that is something I'm very thankful for, because oftentimes I can find good deals on games that are well worth it. So that's my second thing. And my third thing right now is flea markets. And I know the summer is not right now. It's not the best season right now for flea markets, but moving forward, whenever it comes to May, June, July, August, September, in my area, that's where the flea market is killer. Especially those old retro games. We're talking NES, SNES, Game Boy games, DS's, 3DS's, all kinds of stuff like that is what I usually find at the flea market, and that's totally awesome. If I'm looking for a system that I don't have, that's not a bad place to look. Now, maybe I won't find it, obviously, but sometimes I do. I found an Atari Jaguar one time at the flea market, and it came with Doom and some two controllers, I believe, and so I was totally happy about that. So, like, you guys got to go out and go to these places. And the next thing I'm gonna say is kind of those pseudo in-person, pseudo online. So there are 2 or 3 of these that you can do. I'm gonna say Facebook Marketplace first. If you've got Facebook, you probably have seen Facebook Marketplace, but a lot of people don't use that, and I don't understand why. Now, a lot of people do use that, and you should be looking at it. You should hop in every once in a while, look up for stuff that you want to buy, and maybe flip or keep, whatever. I've had some good pickups. I remember I was searching for Super Mario RPG for like a year, but I couldn't find anything less than 50 bucks, and I ended up finding a copy for about 25 to 30 bucks, which is totally awesome. I was super duper happy when that happened. So a lot of people just overlook Facebook. They say, oh, games aren't very good there. They look for other things, but really, look for games. Look for things that you can flip as well. If you could see a 3DS on there for 40 bucks, and it's a new 3DS, pick that up, flip it, sell it for 100, sell it for 80, make your money. That way you can fund the games, because that's what we're all about, playing games. And so that's the first one that's pseudo. Now, you've got Craigslist as well, but in my area, Craigslist has really died out. You've got other things like OfferUp. That's also been one that was stronger in my area at one point, and it's kind of faded away as well. So those are places you could go that are both in person but also online. You can have your cell phone with you. You don't have to go out and go hunting for it. You just find it online, and then you meet them and you say, hey, let's meet at this place, meet at a safe place, do it during the day, don't be stupid, come on people. I usually meet at gas stations close by in the day, and usually it turns out very good. I've never had any huge problems. I've had people ditch me before and they never show up, but honestly, that's kind of the risk. Whenever you're doing that online kind of in-person thing, that's where you run the risk. So be careful if you're going to do this. I want you guys to be safe, but you can also find some very, very good deals. Now, I've got some crazy games in my collection, and you can see up above me here is I've got my boxed little Samson here, and I'm not bragging about it, but I actually found that from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. We made a deal, and then we made another deal, and then I want to say like the 3rd or 4th time we made a deal, we were texting back and forth, and he said, yo, I know you are a big collector of the NES, and I found this. Do you want it? I have a copy, I don't need it, and he gave me a good deal for it, and then about a year or so later, he hit me up again and said, hey, I found a box, would you be interested? I know you have a copy, I sold it to you, and so we've done a few deals, probably 5 to 7 deals, and it works out wonders. I saved so much money. That would have cost way more. It cost a lot, but it would have cost me a lot more had I not gone through that route. So definitely check it out. Be safe though, because sometimes people are shady. Okay, so the last one is online. So I've got 3 big ones, 2 really big ones, and then a 3rd one that's kind of okay depending on how it goes. We'll start with the okay one. That's GameStop. GameStop has used games. Now, yes, you could go in a store and do the same thing, but I prefer not to go to GameStop, honestly. So their online is actually good for picking up retro games at certain points. Now, they have a sale where usually you can buy 2 and get 1 free, and that's not too bad. If you can find 3 games that you want or that you can flip, totally well worth it. I remember whenever they first started doing it, I bought a bunch of Pokemon games that way, and I flipped and sold some and kept some and made more than my money back and got to keep the games that I wanted. So definitely do your research beforehand. You can see how much they're selling for on their website. Go on their website and look. and then you can go on other places and see how much they're worth, like price charting or eBay sold listings, and you can find stuff that way for a good deal. The next thing, since we're talking about eBay, is definitely eBay. You can definitely find some good deals. It's just harder nowadays. Most people, if they're using eBay, they want full price, they want market value for the game, but there is some loopholes there. You can look for games that are listed that are like sold, what is it, best offer, buy it nows. That's what you definitely want to look for. Go through and look at what has a best offer, and maybe you'll see a game that's worth $25 listed for $25, and you can say, hey, I'll give you 20 bucks for it. Now I know you probably have to pay shipping, maybe they're doing free shipping, just depends, but you can negotiate with people if they have best offer on, and you can get some pretty good deals if you do it right. I've thought about doing a video about that. I haven't got there yet, but maybe in the future. But I definitely think that's a good one for you guys to look out for. Go on eBay and look for best offers and see if you can get something that you want for a good deal. Okay, so the last one we're talking about is Mercari. Now Mercari can be great, could be bad, could be awesome, could suck. Just depends on who you're dealing with and how it goes. Now Mercari is a little bit different than eBay, just because of the kind of how it works. There's no bidding, it's just they put a price out there and you can say, you can send them an offer and say, hey, that $25 game I want for 20, and they can either say yes, no, or negotiate. And so there's no bidding at all. But Mercari can be awesome whenever you're looking at it. If you get it right when things are being listed, you can find some good deals there. But if you're gonna do that, you gotta always be looking. Like, that's the problem. The notifications on it are okay, but if you're gonna use Mercari and buy things to flip, you've gotta be watching every single thing that comes in. And I used to do this. I don't anymore just because it's not really worth it for me. But it used to be really good. I used to buy a lot of stuff. You guys can see on the channel. Go back and watch some of those older videos and you will see that. But Mercari is a good place to look. Especially if you're wanting a game and you want it for a good deal, but maybe not the cheapest. Maybe it's a $25 game, like I keep saying. You can offer them $22, and that's still probably going to be accepted by most people. So, be on the lookout for games you want. Check it out. Look for games that you can flip, and I think it's a good deal. So, in this video, I talked about everything. In-person games where you can meet people or meet at the thrift store or whatever. In the middle, you got in-person online, which is like Facebook Marketplace, where you actually meet them. And then you've got online, which is fully automated. They basically just ship it to your door. You can sit on your phone and do that. So I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. There are plenty of ways to get games at good prices. Everyone online likes to say, oh, it's so hard to find games and all that. It's not really. You just gotta put in the work. And sitting on your butt on the couch all day looking at eBay, you're not gonna get the best deals always. So you gotta go out there, go on Facebook Marketplace, go to the thrift store, go on Mercari, do all of that in order to gain your collection and grow your collection in order to gain games that you can flip as well. So with that being said, I want to know what you prefer to use. Comment down below, and if there's something I didn't talk about, mention it and maybe I will talk about it in another video. But these are, for the most part, the ways I find games now in 2020. And I've been collecting games for a long time, especially since like 2014 is when I started really getting back into collecting. So I think you guys kind of got to pay attention to that. Maybe it was before 2014, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Be out there, be looking for games, and that will be good for your game collection. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And one more time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.